Hello, boys and girls. This is Mr. Mouse, and I hope you are all doing well. And I hope that you've all taken the chance to go outside and enjoy the absolutely beautiful weather we've had. Um, it's just been pretty. I mean, the sun has been shining. Um, I know that I've been trying to go out and get a walk in every once in a while. Um, and I know that it's just been absolutely gorgeous. I continue to miss each and every one of you. It's been great being able to talk to many of you on Google Hangouts and by video chat. So I do encourage you to contact me that way during the day. Okay. Um, at night, you should be at home. Um, Either doing homework or spending time with your family, okay? Um, Unless it's an emergency or you need to contact me about an assignment, then it's okay to message me on Hangouts during the night, okay? Um, but, anyways, it's been great hearing from you. It really has. And I miss you all again very much. But on to the topic for today. The topic for today, or this week, or I should say the next couple weeks, is But Wait, How Does It End? How to make it through a song from the beginning to the end, or kind of like a roadmap. So, we've kind of discussed this before the building closed. So now I'm going to add a couple things in, kind of small things that we didn't quite touch before the building closed. Small, very small. So here we go. Just a very quick review. We have learned so much this year. It's insane. So we're going to take one giant look at all the rhythms and the notes we've learned this year. All right, that's right. This year by itself. Well, not by itself, but last year and this year, we learned the quarter note. That equals one beat, right? Looks like that. That's worth one beat. Eighth notes, one and, but they're worth one beat. We have to use one and the word and because it takes two things to create one beat with eighth notes. It's twice as fast. Half note, right? Two beats. Even though we're using one rhythm, it's two beats. So it's 1, 2. Half note is kind of a little cheat I taught you. Um, a little cheating technique, a little shortcut to remember the half note, right? Quarter rest, aka the noodle. It's one beat of silence, no sound, right? Shh, no sound. Half rest. That's two beats of silence. It's we used to call it the hat half rest. Second graders, when we get into third grade, we can't call it the hat half rest anymore. We just have to be able to start calling it the half rest. Okay? But it's worth two beats of sound. I mean, two beats of silence. Blech. I gotta be able to talk. Two beats of silence. Okay? Then what was the next thing we learned? Ah, he's saying, we remember. Well, at least I remember now. We talked about bar lines and measures. We start off something simple. Around the end of kindergarten in first grade, we said that all rhythms that we had learned had to be put somewhere. We said it started off with this line right here. Okay? And then we said, well, all right, and that's good, but we needed to create something to kind of tell us this is the beginning of the line, this is the end of the line, and this is where the rhythms will start, and this is where the rhythms will end. So the bar lines were those two things that tell us this is where we're going to start our rhythms, and this is where we're going to end our rhythms. I forgot to draw rhythms here, but that's actually, you know what? I can still do that. This is where we're going to put our rhythms. I'm going to get out my fancy schmancy pen here. Right? So this is where you would draw your rhythms. Originally, that's where we would put them. Right? Our 4 quarter notes. But then we finally said that that space between the two bar lines is called a measure, right? Okay, so we've said, all right, we're going to call that space a measure now. So that's one measure of music. All right, I know I'm kind of going a little bit fast, and I apologize for that, but I kind of wanted to get to the main point today. All right, so a time signature is how the rhythms are going to be organized. That's what a time signature is. I wanted to explain it a little bit differently, and this just came to me this week. I'm thinking of it like this. A time signature is like the co-pilot of a plane. Think of it this way. Your notes are the pilot, right? So when you have a plane, the plane is controlled by a pilot and a co-pilot, right? They're in the front of the plane. And your notes, they're the pilot. The notes are what you hear first in a song, right? But that co-pilot is the time signature. The co-pilot is doing just as much work as the pilot is. The co-pilot is just as important as the pilot. And the time signature is just as important as the notes. They both have to work together to get the song to work the way it's supposed to. Or the co-pilot and the pilot have to work together to get the plane to work the way it's supposed to. Kind of a cool way of describing notes and time signatures, right? So time signature is broken up like this. The top number told us how many beats are in a measure, right? And then the bottom told us which rhythm gets one beat. In this case, the 4, which is the one we're always going to be focused on, well, not always, but for right now, the 4 means 4, the 4 means a quarter note, gets one beat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last thing we learned was the notes of the staff, right? So we put 4 more lines above this first line, and we called this the music staff. And we placed the notes above the staff. Every good boy does fine on the line, or E, G, B, D, and F. F, A, C, E, those are in the spaces between those lines, face. But then we said that there were notes above and below those staffs, right? We said that the note below this one is D. We said the note above here is G, right? So it wasn't just the notes on the staff. We could find notes above and below them as well. So now that that's settled, let's take a look at a piece of music with the rhythms, the time signature, the staff, and the notes together. So here's our staff, here's our time signature. Want to hear something cool? This is a digital piano, so if you touch it, it makes sound. Pretty cool, huh? So, let's play this piece. It might delay a little bit. And at the end here, we have what's called a double bar line. That means the song is done. Boom. It's all over, right? So a song goes again like this. There's our bar line. That means the first measure's over. And then that's our double bar line. F, A, G, G, A, F. I was trying to play and point at the notes at the same time. I'm not sure if I was very successful at that. All right, but that, like I said, we were reading from the beginning of that first measure, that second measure, and then that double bar line again tells us the song's over. But what if I wanted to use those same notes again without having to, sorry, I jumped ahead there. What if I wanted to use those same notes again, but didn't want to write them over and over and over again? Well, we use what's called a repeat sign. And a repeat sign tells you to go back to the beginning. We did talk about this before, and, well, we repeat everything. So you have two repeat signs. The start repeat kind of looks like the repeat signs kind of look like a sideways frowny face, right? So you got a start repeat sign where the dots are on the right side, and then you have an end repeat sign where the dots are on the left side. So they look like double bar lines, but with dots next to them. Okay? So this would mean you go here in our first measure, all the way here. Those dots are saying, hey, hold the phone. You're going to go all the way back to here and play it again. Or sing it again. So that start repeat says, start here, go all the way through, freeze, go all the way back, and then play the second measure again. Now, think for a second. Speaking of stopping and thinking for a second, how do we keep the music going after that? We just can't keep repeating the same notes forever. Eventually, the song would get a little boring. Well, there's an answer to that. It's called first and second endings. When we want to move on to something different after we're done, we use what's called endings. We have a first and a second ending. The first ending has a number 1 and this little bracket here. That's called the first ending. Okay? The second ending has a 2 and it has a little bracket here. So here's how it would work. You would play these notes here, then you would come to here, Then again, that repeat sign says go back, play this. But wait, now this guy is saying, I don't want you to play this measure. I want you to skip and go to the second ending. Aha! That changes things a little, doesn't it? We're going B, B, middle C, middle C, B, middle C. Then we repeat and go B, B, middle C, middle C, and then that bracket with the 1 tells us to skip and go to middle C there, which is our second ending. Okay? So here's what the piece would sound like. Right? Notice that second time I went B, B, middle C, middle C, middle C. It's a little bit different. So don't worry if you got a little confused. We're going to review all this next week. And I'm going to add a few more things to this lesson. So I hope everybody's doing well. And again, go outside, enjoy the fresh air. And I hope to hear from many of you on Google Hangouts soon. Take care.